Hey there, folks. Recently, I put up a video talking about, well, I guess suppose how it looks like fast pistol shooting is almost unaimed fire, point shooting, index hosing, whatever you want to call it. Also gave an anecdote about a match I was at where one time the front sight came off of my gun, not shooting an optic there, but the front sight came off the gun, and in the middle of a match, in the middle of a stage, and I was aware it came off, and I just, kind of kept the same technique going and kept on shooting and finished out the stage without too much of a problem. Um, yeah, went and talked about it. Now, this I think generated some interesting questions, which we should go through. We should go through the discussion and talk about it. So let's get into it. I love Ben's. I did make another statement here. His guy's going to talk about it. I love Ben's optimism about his average channel viewer practicing a lot, like we totally don't consider watching his videos as practice. Now, I'll be honest. I think my channel does attract a relatively serious crowd. But yeah, I mean, it's still YouTube. Most of y'all don't do shit. I understand how it works. All right. My local range does weekly skill builder classes where it's an hour and a half focused on a specific skill. By the way, this sounds pretty cool. I like the sound of this because you can actually go and train. It's not like a one and done type of class setting. It's like an ongoing deal. I like that. Reload, shooting on the move, etc. One week we showed up for a marksmanship lesson, and after a quick warm up, the instructor had us turn off our dots. At close range, for me, 10 yards and in, most people in the class were surprised at how well they could shoot with no dot, just hardcore target focus and good fundamentals. Yeah, and I'll go even a little bit further with that. A lot of times, just the focus on the sighting system itself, like hyper analyzing every little movement in the sight. People will be like, if you pull in the trigger, like at a particular moment, and shanking shots and stuff. A lot of like the sight focus shooting is a little bit harder for a lot of people, and a lot of times it's easier just to do things at that subconscious or unconscious pace where you're not worried about that shit. You just focus on other good mechanics, good consistent grip, pull the trigger straight, look at where you want the bullets to go. Yeah, you'd be surprised how well you could do. All right. I thought the question was trolling at first, but it's actually a really constructive way to answer. Thank you. I try to be constructive. Um, well, sometimes, not always. Sometimes I'm just having a good time. Awesome stuff per usual, Ben. Note to self, continue developing vision, index, and grip till there's insane levels of consistency and automaticity. Yeah, that's from Kenny Florian. Yeah, I like him. He took a class last year. I mean, I met him. He's a genuinely likable guy. Um, yeah, you just keep. I mean, yeah, there's not much to it, man. You just keep polishing those basic tools to a very very fine shine. All right. I'd be interested seeing this in practice. Two Glock 47s run side by side, one set up just like normal, and the other stripped of irons and the dot would be a cool demo. It's not. I mean, it's not. It's an interesting demo once. Again, all you have to do is turn off the red dot sighting system. But yeah, I mean, again, you'd be surprised how well you can do if you grip the gun the same way, and you're pointing it where you want to go. There'll be an outline of the gun kind of superimposed over the target, and that is precise enough on some level. Let's make sure I can turn that dot down. Too bright. Yeah, I mean, do I think that that's super useful training? Like, not really. Like, I don't need to train to shoot without the sights. It's more like the sights help me confirm that all those skills are in place and operating correctly. All right, I like it when I already know all the info Ben is providing. It just confirms in my head I'm on the right path, but have to train more. Yeah, well, I'm here for you, man. I want you to feel good when you watch. I'm not just always trying to hurt people's feelings and be an asshole. All right, as a totally mediocre comp shooter, I love your content. It's a gift. I noticed that your advice on grip and posture have been far more helpful in getting better hits than anything the dot or sights are contributing. Well, that's good. This is literally the best channel for all shooters. God damn, you guys are nice in the comments. I didn't see all the nice comments before I decided to fire up this video. This is literally the best channel for all shooters. I've improved so much from your videos, brother. Thanks so much for all you do. Well, you're welcome. Ben doesn't aim down sights. He confirms down sights. Yeah. I mean, I like the word. The word confirmation is far more appropriate to the way I actually use the sighting system. It's true. Um, I was today years old when Ben finally admitted he just uses the Force. Yeah, well, I use the Force, I suppose, but I use the red dot to confirm the Force is working correctly because it doesn't always. Things happen. Um, One of the most mind-blowing posts. Appreciate the anecdote about the national stage without a front sight. I remember seeing a POV of Dave Savigny shooting iron sights and wondering how he was doing it. Dave would index hose occasionally. But yeah, I mean, a lot of times with irons, you're just seeing the outline of the sights, superimposed on the target, and you don't even consider the actual alignment of the front and the rear. Like, depending on the distance to the target, if I just see the sights anywhere, I'll be like, send it because it'll be like, it'll go where I want. I will confirm using the sights. All right. Knew about the importance of index and predictive shooting for the second shot, but this really emphasizes how important and essential it is. Never seen this information anywhere else. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, this is the not to be a dick, but this is the type of stuff that you're not gonna get unless people have done a ton of performance shooting or like have a competitive shooting background, like shooting at a high level. Like they're not gonna understand these concepts because this is stuff that it's hard to wrap your head around until you actually do it. Mm-hmm. Wait till Ben gets the new SIG 2011 that takes 320 mags. Could be video of the year. Now I'm not gonna buy any more SIG shit. I'm just not like I don't want to like there's not many things that I like boycott or whatever that I just but like man, honest to God, fuck SIG. I don't want to support them. People that work there should go get a different job in my opinion. It's like I think that company's run by some genuinely bad people, to be honest. All right, if people would actually train, they wouldn't ask these types of questions. It seems they love to watch and comment, but just can't seem to pick up anything other than their phone. I really don't think some of them really understand index. I mean, yeah, I mean, but also it's kind of a fair question if you're newer. Like it's fair to ask like, hey, it looks like you're shooting, not really aiming. All right, like, or how about it? I don't understand how someone can aim that fast. Um, The perfect example of index is when a high level shooter puts three quick shots on a target, scores the best two shots on that target. What actually happened was the shooter realized his shot wasn't where he wanted at high speed. He made another shot to replace it without ever having a hiccup. Yeah, that happens. He didn't have to see the hole. He knew as he hit it and fixed it with another immediate shot, not time taken for aiming as the rest of us know it. Well, a good example of that would be like, let's say I'm swinging onto a target over here, like look at spot, guns coming in, and I'm in a hurry, so I'm like boom, 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 or boom, 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 like that is what it'll look like. And what really happened is I'm looking at the center of the target or looking at the target. I mean, I become aware of the sight tracking in. I get on the trigger just a little bit early. The first shot hits the target on the edge. Second shot tracks into the center, and then I'll just fire another one to like put that put that one the third shot should also go in the middle. Like that is a common extra shot for me when I'm shooting really aggressively, and I make the little mistake of getting on the trigger a little bit early. Good example of like what that would look like. Am I using the sights? Well, yeah, the sights are giving me information. I mean, but am I aiming in the traditional sense? No, I'm more like confirming what I think I know with the sights. Um, what you're ultimately describing here, I assume you know it, Ben, but others may not, is the effects of well-built muscle reflex memory, the body and brain's ability to do something without having to think all the way through it. Yeah, and I would actually say when you're going at these type of speeds, you cannot consciously think through it. You're going to be way too slow. All right. Once enough proper practice of a given technique, etc., has been done, this occurs for literally any given sort of activity with enough practice. Yeah, I agree. With shooting, sports, keyboard, typing, driving, etc. This frees up your brain for more conscious thought about things going on rather than having to focus on fundamental things. Well, what I would say is you don't want your conscious brain trying to interfere with this process. You get your best results in most cases sort of observing what's happening and having a clear conscious mind, or maybe your conscious mind is on something else and not interfering with the skills you've already built up. Oh yeah, so yeah, I absolutely believe you can do fine without sights, generally speaking. Yeah, because your brain has been programmed to such a degree that the sights aren't even needed. I mean, it's not that they aren't needed. It's like the sights are helpful, again, to like, so I'm reading where the shots are going and I know what's going on and I can confirm they're going to go where I want. I'm not telling people to shoot without sights or that I don't need sights on the gun. I shoot with sights on the gun for a reason. All right. You have, in this context, become a machine. I learned all about this during my college fencing days, but it holds true just every aspect of life, essentially. Yeah, do something enough in life, it becomes automatic. Yeah, that's what you're training for. Um, Something to consider is that the dot does not need to be in the center of the sight. If it's on target, the bullet will go there, while iron sights need to be aligned with front and back. Sometimes. In addition, since the sight does not need to be centered on the target, it allows faster on-target shooting. Maybe small amount, but it does. Yeah, I mean, as long as you have a parallax-free sighting system, it doesn't need to be centered in the window. Um, mhm. Ever hear a sports announcer say a guy is in the zone? I think it's a good way to describe what Ben is saying. I mean, I guess. However, many gazillions of repetitions he's done, the fact that he thinks shooting is fun leads to just relaxing and letting it rip with the confidence that whatever the brain decides is going to get hit more often than not. Same goes for any sport. Yeah, I agree with that. Agree with you guys. Grip, vision, index, very important concepts, techniques to work on and understand. Yes, they are. Like they're very important concepts to work on and understand. And without a well-developed index and then understanding like levels of confirmation or different aiming schemes, that's another term for it. I think it's really tough to go fast with a handgun. Um, what is great about pistols is they're challenging to master. Train with the best yearly and practice on your own daily. Okay, yeah, I mean that's good advice. Ben has been nagging me for years on this platform. Yes, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here to nag you. Um, let's see what else. Had my dot die on two stages at a club match last month. The first time it messed with me. The next stage, I just told myself to forget about it if it died again. Sure enough, it died a few rounds into the stage. I just shot the stage and ended up fourth on the stage at like 84% with just one delta. Yeah, I mean, I'm not advocating shooting without the sights, but again, you'd be surprised how well you can do if all the other stuff is in place. All right. In quotes, this channel tends to attract guys that practice a lot. I agree with that. Because your methods work, that's why I've yet to try something you suggested and have it fail. If there's any failure, it comes down to my incompetence and lack of skill. It's not my equipment that's at fault. Well, I'm here to try to give good advice to y'all. That's what I like to do. I see you running the Vortex Defender ST, it seems. Curious to hear your opinion on it. Apologize if I missed it. It's the Defender XL. It is a red dot and it does do red dot things. I'm happy with it. It's on the list of red dots that I recommend people take a look at. The Defender ST is fine as well. It's just a slightly smaller window. The XLs may be overkill, you know. Let's see what else we got here. Why don't you put lights on any of your guns? They add weight to the front, reduce muzzle flip, and give your thumb a gas pedal to hold down to. I don't like flashlights on the gun because they add weight to the front and they make the gun a little bit cumbersome to transition around. And I don't like thumb rests. I don't like doing anything with my thumbs. They just float off the gun. So I don't really care for the flashlights personally, unless, of course, I need the light just for the reason of the light. Hmm. Let's see what else we got here. Will you review the SIG GTO? No, I will not. Dudes having trouble with this are not doing dry fire. Like, yeah, I agree. There's a big divide between those who like dry fire, like that means regularly practice, and those who don't. You got to regularly practice. Correct me if I'm wrong, but basically Ben is point shooting on close-up targets and using the red dot to approximate his hits on target. No, and close targets, I look at a small spot in the center and I react to the color red. That's typically what I'm doing. All right, when you shoot enough or have really good hand-eye coordination, like he has shot enough to know where things need to be to make effective hits. Because when you're shooting super fast, there's no thinking about the shots. That takes up too much time. A lot of people are way overthinking this type of material. Yeah, a lot of people are way overthinking, but people overthink everything. Or they're on here for entertainment. Ben, that was well explained, but I have a question for you, sir. Would you use the same style in a self-defense situation? Or do you even know? Maybe that's a dumb question, but I've been wondering that. Well, I mean, to me, the context isn't really relevant. Like, it'd be like, I want to shoot a thing here, look at center of thing I want to shoot, gun tracks over to that thing, react to the sights as appropriate. So like react to the color red if it's a thing like 5 yards. I don't know what would be different. I don't know what would be different unless people get emotional and just pull the trigger without seeing sights. You mean you'll see a lot of footage of that happening, but that's an emotional thing. It's not like a technical thing, in my opinion. Let's see what else we got here. I tell you what, I can practice my draw 1,000 times and 990 times my dot is right where I'm looking. As soon as live rounds are going downrange, that dot might as well be in space. Is that me anticipating recoil and not focusing on fundamentals? I mean, anticipating recoil is one way of putting it. I mean, if you're just at home in a benign environment, you like draw the gun. You're like, yep, sights where I'm looking. Sights where I'm looking. Okay, sights where I'm looking. Cool. And then you go to the range and you're like, okay, now it's for real. Now I'm going to shoot live ammo. And you draw the gun. You're like, all right, bear down. I get ready. Yeah. And you change what you're doing in anticipation of recoil. Yeah. I mean, you will see that sometimes. So I mean, in a sense, the way that you're dry practicing is not valid, right? Because you go and you're shooting live and you're getting a completely different experience. Like that's telling you definitionally your dry fire is fucked up somehow, some way. So I would consider that. It's amazing that people think he gives a shit about their meaningless opinions. Yeah, I mean, people like to talk on YouTube. I like to talk on YouTube too. I just come on here and bullshit in the comments. It's lovely. All right. Do you have any tips on blocking out the timer? Second match last night, and right from the gate, all I could think about was the timer. Almost like tunnel vision of how much time I was taking. Optimally, this caused multiple mics and no shoots. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're out there like worried about the time, you're not going to get the outcome you want. You have to be focused on the process. It's like, I mean, the way you block out the timer is training under time pressure, routinely. And then again, in the context of training under time pressure, focus on the correct process in order to get the outcome you want. How about for rifles when it comes to transitioning from target to target horizontally? Like, what do I do with my dot because I still have problems with it? I think you look where you want it to go and then let your mount track over to where it is what I would tell you to do. Let's see. You described what I was taught and know to be point shooting. Definitely within 7 to 10 yards and very possible at 15 yards and further depending on the amount of training. It's very fast and effective in a defensive situation, maybe not for competition. You understand I'm using the sights when I'm shooting. I hope you understand that. Y'all trying to figure out how to shoot pistols? Y'all still trying to figure out how to shoot pistols? Yeah, I'm still working on it. I'm trying to get better. Nagging like Scottsdale women or Phoenix women? I mean, I guess. I'll get nagging from women from all over the place. Okay, have you thought about shaving your head? No. I mean, maybe in a nightmare scenario. I like having long, like messy, dirty hair. You know, it's good for me. It works for me. All right, guys. Thought it was a good discussion. Hopefully, it was helpful for you. And I'm sure you'll have more questions. Go ahead and put them down below.